Thank you, Jason, for throwing away my weapon.
All right, Randy, are you participating in this? All right, let's get rolling. So when you first heard the title, The Power of Positive Team, what's some thoughts that came up? Jason?
Well, that it was, to me, it sounds like it's gonna be a fun workshop.
Good.
And it's gonna build something that's, I've never heard of anybody making a negative team work.
Yeah, right. Let's focus on that.
Oh, there you go.
What?
Congress.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, wow.
Well, if you emphasize on a positive team, the outcome of a positive team is a huge amount of power, I think. If that is indeed what we have, that's absolutely,
So-
that's what I need to know.
Here's the thing. No one creates success alone. I don't care who you are, you've always had somebody else that's helped you along the way. And once we realize that, yes, you're individual contributors, you all have plans, but if you think about it, are you better if you work together to accomplish great things, or are you better when you're just by yourself? So this workshop is based on John Gordon's best-selling book, The Power of Positive Team. I would highly recommend that you get that book and read it, or listen to it on Audible as well after we get done with this. It was a Wall Street Journal best-selling book. I'm grateful and fortunate to be one of John Gordon's speakers, and so this is part of a 3-part series. We're doing just this one. There's another one on mindset, and there's another one on leadership. So why I felt like this would be really important for you guys moving forward is this. Yes, we're gonna talk about how do you want to operate moving forward as a team? What are you gonna accept? What are the things that you're going to set as absolutes for yourselves as a group? But the other part of it is what comes out of a team, a culture, right? So how is this culture going to be continued moving forward, right? Joel and David are not the drivers of the culture. They're the guides. You guys are the drivers of the culture, right? So that's why I really feel like this is going to be really a valuable couple hours we're going to spend together. So obviously you know who I am, but I'd like to introduce John Cloughan, friend of mine, super solid guy, and I'm gonna let John just tell you a little bit about his background.
All right, good morning, everybody. For those of you that were here, I think it was 3 years ago when I came and spoke. Nice to see you again. Everybody else, I'm John Cloughan. I just retired from Intel after 24 years. The best way I could describe what I did as Intel is everything except legal and finance. Before that, I was Army Special Forces for 10 years. I did get out of the Army a year before 9/11, so I am very, very dated. I was in Mogadishu. I invaded Port-au-Prince, Haiti, and then I spent the late 90s in Bosnia. So what am I doing here is, Brian and I met many years ago, we hit it off. We got very similar styles. We work in different industries, but we've both been really passionate about building teams building cultures, building positive environment. And so when I retired, he asked me to come join him in his next phase of life, which sounded like the next opportunity for me to grow, so I accepted. This material here, I'm very new to it. He's been preparing for this training for years. We've been talking about it for years, so I know this is something that he absolutely was passionate about. I just didn't anticipate having the opportunity to retire in 2024. So I'm kind of coming up to speed on it. I'll be sharing some of my own personal past history that helps highlight, just like I know you will, good positive team and culture. But for the most part, this is kind of new to me. But when Brian and I were preparing for it, it's interesting. We kind of went through the material, and we were starting to just add so much detail to what's in these books, and we kind of just keep playing off of each other from learnings and past successes. That it made me feel like I am absolutely on the right track working with him. I'm super excited about it. Super excited to be here with you. Just based on our first couple minutes, it sounds like there might be some concerns, and appreciate the honesty and the openness. I also appreciate the positivity that we want to build in this. So there's a section where we're going to talk about elephants in the room and how to confront them. So I think we're going to get a chance to do that. But yeah, thanks for sharing. In my opinion, whatever we need to do today, especially based on your guys' leadership, we need to pivot. Let's pivot. But let's have a great day.
Thanks, John. John's a very humble guy. He's a West Point grad, like he said, 10 years Special Forces. John also has a mechanical engineering degree and an MBA. So he was known with Intel as the fixer. So they would send him all over the world to different plants, and he would go in and fix technical issues they were having. But then he pivoted, because that's not always the bigger problem, to working on leadership, team building, and like he said, everything except for legal, right? So he's got a great background with a lot of different views of things, both here in the US as well as internationally. And he finished his career at Intel in the sales area, working for their government and military sales group. So it'll be good to have John along for this. Yes.
So you're saying that you two now are partners in your business that you started and working through now corporate comfort and going to the opcos and
Well,
you two as a team?
We are working together, that's true. The bigger thing is not so much with comfort, but John's kind of got his own little niche, right? So there may be some opportunities for John to get involved with comfort. I don't know yet until I go on the road show starting in February, and basically it'll be depending on what's needed at each opco, right?
Well, I think it's great. I think you make a good team while you both have that passion. I was just curious if you partnered up. That's exciting for you.
Yeah.
We're completely aligned on the
Yeah.
team building aspect of it and the leadership. But we got different backgrounds, so he wants to see if he can find opportunities for me to engage in manufacturing. Any type of more technical, where he is much more experienced on the sales side. So we're gonna look for as many opportunities as we can.
Have you had him do a lot of push-ups and see if he can handle that?
I tried.
Climb a rope and come out of it.
I tried, he didn't show up that day.
I can tell you one thing about John. John is he's a black and white guy. There is no BS, right? So we at one time, there was a group of us that were talking about, we were gonna try and pass the combat military physical fitness test, right? That's new, that's out there now, right? And John was like, no, there's no BS here. There's not gonna be, there's no gray area. You're either gonna hit it or you're not, right? And that's what I love about him, right? He is whatever he's gonna do it 100% and do it until he gets it right, and then never stop from then on. So great teams. Great teams do things together. Right now, we're in the middle of football playoffs. They win championships together. They do research, right? You guys partner up and pursue project work and maintenance together, right? So teams are everywhere. Very few teams are great. So you could say, oh, they're a good team, right? So I look at, you got good teams, right? You got less than good, you got disasters. You have great teams. So what would be an example of a great team that you can think of?
Notre Dame.
Notre Dame.
Easy.
The Chiefs lately.
The Chiefs, okay. All right.
Hey, Brian, there was one comment I heard this morning, and it was you. Said, are we a team? Is that something?
Yeah, my question, I was gonna ask to you, and what do you see, John, as a great team?
It
Forget
was-
the sports, forget all that, what do you see?
It's
as-
not even a great team. What is a team? What's a team to you? Just a definition. Give me a definition off the top of your head.
Well, together, everyone accomplishes more, that's the old acronym that's out there,
I'll
but.
try. A group of people, working towards a common goal.
That's, you're both right, yep. But the one thing, and I didn't look this up on Google, but when Brian first pulled me into this training, it was what is a team? And it's two or more people trying to accomplish one goal, right? So, I don't wanna lead, but you asked me what a great team is. A great team is got a very clear goal, and the leadership has a strategy on how to accomplish that goal with input from everybody on the team. And that in a team that fosters an open environment where everyone collaborates and everyone participates. Like Brian said, no one wins alone. That when he first showed me that a couple weeks ago, and I was thinking, I'm not sure if I buy into that. Right? Special Forces selection, assessment and selection. 4 weeks of mild torture. First 2 weeks are individual. If you've ever seen, the Navy SEALs got buds, and they're really loud, and they got megaphones, and they're screaming at them and doing their stuff. In Special Forces selection and Delta Force selection, it's really quiet. It is absolute darkness, middle of the night, a bunch of guys wearing a whole bunch of gear, and one instructor with a flashlight and a notepad. And he will explain what you are going to do. Barely loud enough for everyone to hear him. In one case, anytime you do a run, it's like we have a run, it's gonna be marked with chem lights if it's at night. Or we have a run, it's gonna be marked with orange cones if it's during the day. This event is graded on time. Do your best, begin. There's no motivation. There's no screaming, there's no yelling. Now that run could be 3 miles or it could be 9 miles. And the last ruck event was 24 miles, and it was literally started like that. It was a time-based event, routes marked in chem lights, do the best you can, go. And it was 24 miles of just walking all night. But I was thinking, so those are individual events. So did I succeed being an individual? And then the more I thought about it, I said, well, I had a team supporting me, getting me there. One of my friend's wives was a swimmer in college. So in the months that I prepared for it, she was my swim coach. I swam 1.5 miles every lunch. When I got lunch, I'd go straight to the pool, and she would be there coaching me. I had my boss was ex-Special Forces that had to be medically taken off airborne status. So he was sitting there explaining how to prepare, how to train, how to toughen up your feet so they don't blister on you and everything. So I actually had a whole team supporting me as an individual that I didn't even acknowledge when we first started talking about some of this. So yeah, to me it's having a clear goal. Anyone been part of a team that has an ambiguous goal? No one? all your goals have been 100% clear, you knew exactly what was expected of you. Right? That's not a great team. The great teams are the ones that have absolute clearest goal that everybody, fully understands. Here's another military example. In an operations order, which is how you pass down missions, to teams in the Army, you literally have the second paragraph is the mission statement. This is exactly what we're going to do. At this exact minute, on this exact day, at this exact location, we're gonna go destroy something or do whatever we're gonna do. But the Army realized that wasn't enough to make sure that that goal was clear. So they added a second paragraph for commander's intent. So not only did you cover the five, whys, but then you had to take your team and say, you know, this is how I want to do this operation, high level, and what it really on the civilian side, it's a strategy. It's a basic statement about the strategy on, this is what we're gonna do, but this is more information about how I see us doing it. The other thing is, clear goals, but clear roles and responsibilities. We'll use the football, everybody brought up football, right? Does everybody play the same position? You know, teams are a bunch of individuals with specific roles that together are set up to accomplish that goal. Right?
So I would suggest to you, think about what's a good team, what would make up a great team, and then I've got another level that very few people enter in there, and that's the unstoppable team, right? And so, as we go through this, you're gonna see that you've gotta have some things in common. And successful and impactful teams all have some things in common, and so we're gonna get started with an activity to activate some teamwork. Okay, so all of you in your rows, okay, so there should be like 6 or maybe 5 in a row. There is a box, okay? There is a box right here, okay? I'm gonna give you 5 minutes and you're gonna open this box and there's a puzzle inside and you're gonna put together this puzzle. Okay, so they got one right there. All right, so when I start the clock, you guys have 5 minutes as a team to put it together.
Yeah, this is 5 right here. Yeah.
Oh, we already going?
Yeah.
Oh.
Alright, so it's the circular ones, we need edges. I think part of it's there.
White boards right here, these are just edges and cakes.
You can't read, you're qualified to be a salesperson. Alright, so this looks like the left edge, right edge, color printed down like that. Yeah, you wanna work on the edge, we got some lettering in white, lettering in blue. So if you guys wanna work on lettering in blue, I'll work on lettering in white here.
We document them.